Hey guys, I'm going to briefly show you how to factor a few of these and so that you can work on the rest of them. So let's start with number 1. Remember, two terms. We first want to look for our greatest common factor always, and then afterwards we can either factor by difference of squares, or that might be as far as we can take it. So when I look at this, 4n squared minus 49, there's no greatest common factor between those two terms. So next I want to check and see, are they perfect squares? Well, 4 is a perfect square and 49 is a perfect square. So my factors become the square root of the first term and the square root of the last term. It's also important there's subtraction between them. So the square root of 4n is 2n. And the square root of 49 is 7. So my factors are 2n plus 7 and then 2n minus 7. Again, it doesn't matter which one comes first. And that's all that you need to do. So then over here, you would find, it says one of the factors in each column. So here I see 2n plus 7, and here I see 2n minus 7. So that tells me number 9 is letter G. Okay. Next, we have n squared plus 8n plus 12. So if there's no number in front of the n squared, this is your product sum. So what multiplies to 12 that could add to 8? Well, those two numbers would be 6 and 2. This would be n plus 6 times n plus 2. All right. And then lastly, number 6, we have 3n squared minus 8n plus 5. So again, look for our greatest common factor, but there is not one between 3, 8, and 5. So if we don't have a greatest common factor of these terms, and there's still this number in the front, this is where we have to slide and divide, okay? So slide 3 to the end, and that sliding action is multiplication. So n squared minus 8n plus 15 is my polynomial. Now we factor with product sum. So we need to know what multiplies to 15 and adds to negative 8. So that would be n minus 5 and n minus 3. All right. 3 times 5 is 15. Negative 3 minus 5 would be negative 8. But we're not quite done here. Because we slid this 3 down to the last term in the beginning, we have to divide it back out. We did the multiplication in the beginning, now we have to divide. So divide each of the factors by 3. And, well, 5/3, that can't divide evenly. That 3 doesn't go into 5 evenly. So if that happens, I'm just going to take the denominator and move it in front of the variable. So it'd be 3n minus 5. And then the other one would be n minus 3 divided by 3. Well, 3 divided by 3 is just 1. So I could write it as n minus 1. Okay? And when you look in your answer key, you can find these factors in either order. So if you see here, we have n minus 1 first, even though I wrote it second, that's perfectly fine. And then 3n minus 5 over here. So 18 should be S. All right? So see if you can factor the rest of these, and when you're done, you should find the answer to how can fishermen save gas? And yes, you actually have to do out all the math. You can't just guess the answer or look it up. All right? Good luck.